Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be talking about the world's largest terrestrial biome, which covers approximately 11% of Earth's land surface. The Taiga Forest is the largest continuous region of forest on Earth. It's dominated by a variety of evergreen coniferous trees. It's also commonly known as a boreal forest. This biome stretches in an almost unbroken belt across the far north. In terms of latitude, it's found between 50 to 65 degrees north, just below the tundra biome and just above the temperate forests. Many countries lie within this biome, such as Finland, Sweden, Norway and Iceland, but the majority of the biome is located within Canada, Russia and parts of the lower 48 US states, as well as Alaska. The largest unbroken stretch of taiga reaches from the far east of Russia near the Pacific to the Ural Mountains in the west, amounting to an incredible 3,600-mile forest. However, as we will see later, the taiga is also one of the fastest biomes in decline, with a reduction of 6 million square kilometers in only 16 years. Life in the taiga can both be brutal and challenging, but also pleasant and favourable. There are only two seasons here, winter and summer. The winter typically lasts for 8 to 9 months of the year. The biome is considered as a cold wet biome with higher precipitation levels than the tundra biome. Annual precipitation levels lie between 30 and 70 centimetres, however most falls in the form of snow. Temperatures in this biome can also be shockingly low, with winter averages of minus 25 degrees Celsius, and in some parts they could plummet to minus 45 degrees Celsius. On the positive side, conditions seem to change quickly when summer approaches, and temperatures often could be near 20 degrees Celsius. The 3 to 4 month summer window provides a breather for the wildlife as plants blossom and fruit and animals come out of hibernation. Many birds migrate to the taiga in the summer when conditions are more tolerable. The taiga forest is often known for having snow-covered coniferous trees in the winter, which provide picturesque views of the landscape. The plants that are found here have excellent adaptations that allow them to survive the brutal conditions of the far north. The biome is largely dominated by a small variety of coniferous trees, including pine, spruce, fir and larch. The makeup of each species varies with each geographic region. Unlike other biomes which have layers of sedges and shrubs below their trees, the taiga biome has no shrub layer, with most life below the trees, coming in the form of moss, lichens and some flowers. Unlike deciduous trees, evergreen trees are able to hold on to their foliage during the winter, which allows them to imminently start photosynthesis as soon as summer emerges and the window for growth opens. By the time deciduous trees were to grow back their foliage, the summer window would have nearly closed. Because of the adaptations that are needed to survive here, the plant diversity is relatively low compared to other biomes, as only few plants have the necessary adaptations. The coniferous trees here have conical shaped cones which forces snow to fall off, preventing the snow from accumulating and freezing them. The needle's shape and size reduces the surface area for which water can be lost. Needles are also dark in their appearance, maximising the retention of heat from the sun. A combination of the moss, bog and the coniferous needles provide habitats for fungi which decompose and recycle the nutrients. In the tundra biome, the temperatures are so cold that the soil becomes permanently frozen for most of the year. This makes it extremely difficult for water to seep through. It also limits the growth of trees throughout the winter, as their frozen roots can no longer expand. During the summer, the permafrost falls slightly, allowing the trees the much needed room to grow and develop. However, the melting permafrost can also cause the trees to move out of place and lean on one another. Only very few species have the essential traits needed to survive through the long and cold winters of the taiga biome. There are some necessary adaptations of animals which allow them to stay warm and find food. Some of the largest woodpeckers in the world are seen in the taiga forest, and they penetrate through the trunks to reach the grubs inside. Woodpeckers, alongside squirrels, have learnt how to penetrate through the conifer seeds, which is beneficial as a winter food source. The North American porcupine has adapted to being able to eat large amounts of needles, which is beneficial when food is scarce. Bark on trees is used as a winter food source by deers and porcupines, who strip the bark away. This is beneficial for them, but can be devastating for the conifer. The group of mustelids, which include wolverines, pine martens and minks, have insulating fur that is highly efficient in keeping them warm. An insulating fur system is essential for animals to survive the winter. Most have a long outer guard layer that is translucent and water repellent. Underneath, they have shorter, more closely packed hairs that trap the air and warm it. Many animals grow an extra fur layer at the end of summer, typically in a white colour, to help provide camouflage and extra warmth. For large mammals, keeping warm isn't too difficult, given they have a food supply and a good layering system. However, for small animals such as birds, it's often difficult to stay warm, as their large surface area to volume ratio makes it difficult for them to retain heat. If the food supply is limited, they may be forced to migrate in so-called eruptions, where they can fly further than their typical winter ranges in an attempt to evade the cold. Most birds found in the taiga aren't resident and in fact migrate during the winter. Examples of some resident birds include northern goshawk, great grey owls, and chickadees. However, migratory birds still rely on the taiga forests at some stage in their life cycle. Around 1 to 3 million birds flock back to the taiga forest during the spring to breed. Many large mammals live within the taiga biome, as the dense structure of the forest provides good opportunities to sneak up and prey, but also a good amount of vegetation for omnivores and herbivores to eat. Examples of animals that live within the taiga biome include grey wolves, lynx, otters, moose, weasels, hares, brown bears, Siberian tigers, squirrels, reindeer, caribou, beavers, elk, deer and bison. Brown bears have a thick layering of fur that keeps them warm throughout the winter whilst they hibernate. They typically hibernate in dugouts up to 6 months. Also, they have the best of both worlds, with the options of eating both vegetation and other animals, which is perfect for when food is limited. Although the taiga forest occupies the largest amount of land on Earth compared to any other biome, it's facing real threats which could damage the biome and its wildlife severely. It is of immense importance to our planet, and many studies show the huge reliance we have on the taiga forest, not just for its biodiversity, but its ability to regulate Earth's climate. As with the tundra biome, the rate of evolution of species cannot keep up with the rate of climate change, which leaves animals in this biome with two choices: to migrate, which isn't possible due to the lack of connectivity between biomes and ecosystems, or to cope with the changes and hope to survive through the changing climate. Taiga forests are exploited widely for their vast amount of trees, which holds huge amounts of timber used for construction and other purposes. However, commercial logging and deforestation of this biome will release stored carbon back into the atmosphere, accelerating the greenhouse effect. Not only that, but many animals rely on the trees to survive, and without their habitat, they could face extinction. Lastly, the warm and insulated fur of mammals found within the biome has led to them being hunted by indigenous tribes and poachers, either using it for themselves to combat the conditions or to sell around the world and make profits from their body parts. This is becoming increasingly common within the taiga biome, and it's a real threat to the existence of these species. Overall, the taiga forest needs urgent protection and conservation in order to keep the habitats and wildlife within safe, but also to continue to capture carbon and slow down the rate of climate change. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, it would be greatly appreciated if you could give us a like, and if you want to watch more similar content in the future, consider subscribing.